Sterling, certified financial planner and founder of Next Gen Wealth Partners. And today I'm going to be talking about creating generational wealth for you and your family. Think of it in terms of a timeline. Let's say that you are here, maybe 30, 40 years old, and your parents maybe are retired or getting ready to retire, and perhaps you have kids and you are thinking that you want them to have an easier, better life than you did. Maybe you faced having to take out student loans for your education, to get a good job, a high paying job, so that you could provide for your family. But what if your start in life had been a little bit easier? What if, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. In my experience as a financial planner, I see that parents, when they talk about their kids, they're like, oh, my kids are good. They have a house, they have a dog, they have some kids, they have cars, they have a job, they're good. Meanwhile, the kids are questioning whether or not their parents can make it through retirement. And I want to highlight that word questions because I find that there's not enough dialogue going on between these two groups or within this family system. There are a lot of questions that remain. And where this becomes an issue is when the parents' situation, their financial situation, their health, whatever the case may be, might affect the kids' financial situation. So I want you to stop and ask yourself, do you guys have a plan? Have you talked with your parents? Have your parents spoken with you about a plan? Because it's very rare, again, in my experience, for the parents to age out and pass on and not have some sort of an effect on the kids. It could be positive, it could be negative, but in most cases, there's no plan, and there are a lot of questions. Okay, so I want to pause right there. I want to let you know that the effect could be positive, it could be negative. What does that mean? So let's say that the parents have some assets to pass down to the kids, and you're thinking, wow, that's really great. And it is really great, assuming that the kids know what to do with it, right? They know how to maximize that wealth transfer. And oh, by the way, when we talk about wealth transfer, there's a huge opportunity that currently exists between the baby boomer population and Gen X on down. This is really an opportunity for Main Street America to begin to create a wealth cycle for themselves and their family. But you guys have to talk about it. You have to be about it. Do you really think that families that created wealth for themselves, do you think they did it accidentally? No, likely they had a plan or they consulted someone who could advise them. And that's the big difference I see between the haves and the have-nots. It doesn't have to do necessarily with the amount of money in the bank account. It has to do with the amount of knowledge and a plan. So, and then negative aspects, it really runs the gamut. I could tell you a lot of stories. I'm not going to for the purposes of time here, but I hope that you walk away with a general sense of how important it is to have these kinds of conversations Please reach out to my team and I. We help to facilitate these types of conversations within a family system so that we can start to really dial this in. And one last point I'll make is I mentioned earlier about being excited about this topic, being optimistic about this topic. Some people, number one, don't really like to, maybe they get kind of intimidated by that word wealth. I want you to look at it from the standpoint of, you've worked hard through your life. You've progressed. You've probably, climbed a corporate ladder, or perhaps you've raised a family, which is a really big job. And you get to the end of your life, and there will be an end. People don't like to talk about it. And I think that's part of the reason why this plan is not really getting put into place. But it doesn't have to be just this sharp drop off at the end. You could leave a gift behind that could positively affect other generations. Or you could leave a surprise, which would also affect those that you leave behind, but not in a happy way. So you get to choose. Are you going to leave a gift, or are you going to leave a surprise?